All right, I got 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and call the village board order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'd really like to thank everyone for their attendance, and if the minutes can reflect the role of the various trustees and staff, let's move on to item 3. Entertain a motion for approval of the 10-3 village board and the file the 9/13 public safety committee and the 9/19 finance committee meeting minutes as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Motion is second, as always. Comments, questions, clarifications on the minutes? Oh, Tom?
Board meeting. Third on page 4. And some motions with names and a time, still missing from most minutes. I don't know if there's one thing there. Under how we do it. Closed session.
That was probably a miscommunication between my office and the clerk's office. What I'll do is I'll email the clerk's office following a closed session, since everybody's excused. Yep, we have that time and we can absolutely have that placed in the minutes.
Change being requested, motion is second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Anybody in the audience on a non-agenda item? Or any information has been distributed in normal fashion. Let's move on to item 6, resolutions, ordinance, action items. Item A is a motion for to recommend the village board approval of a waiver to the street construction requirement in the Stonewall Farms development agreement with conditions as posted. Jessica, you want to go over that one?
Sure. So the current Stonewall Farms development agreement states that the first lift of asphalt has to be installed in a phase prior to receiving a building permit for new homes. And so the Stonewall Farms development agreement covers both the single family portion of the development as well as the Glen condo development. The developer recently received approval for the first phase. 3 buildings at the Glen, the first 3 buildings in the condo site. They would like to get started this winter on putting some foundations, and they will not have at that point they will not have the road first lift of asphalt installed. They will have utilities installed. So they requested and staff supports a one-time waiver to this phase 1 of the Glen to allow them to receive building permits prior to the first lift being installed. And then staff worked on those 4 conditions that are go along with the requested action there, just to make sure that the road base, I guess is a way to would be the correct terminology, right? Correct base to make sure that the is in good condition when they're ready to pave in the spring.
Questions for Jessica? Yes, Tom?
Yeah, under point number 2, occupancy. Okay, that makes sense. Once the binder goes on. But do we have anything that requires acceptance of utilities before we allow for occupancy, or is that just whatever we get to accept the utilities? And those kinds of things.
We typically have allowed occupancy prior to acceptance of a phase.
Okay, and then we are also requiring that the roadways be maintained in good condition and inspected by the village prior to the installation of the binder. Okay. Will we be inspecting the road box sealers and the curb stops? That's going to be as well at that same time.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting the utilities as they go in currently, but absolutely.
Because without a binder forcer, I can see the utilities getting kind of linked up pretty bad.
Yeah, those are typically inspected and then fixed, obviously, at the time that they want to put the binder asphalt in.
All right.
So we could certainly add language there, road base and utility.
And
components.
utilities, including
Sure.
road boxes, curb stops, and manhole covers and frames.
sorry, I'm not getting all that, so it's. Get it? Okay,
Road lines, curb stops, and map of covers.
curb stops, ample covers, okay.
Thank you.
Comments? All right, so entertain a motion or additional conditions.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Second, final comments. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item B is motion for to approve the site clearation water management agreement. Amber, is that one speaker?
It can, so it's just the standard agreements that we put forward with any new developments, just to make sure that they're doing yearly inspections and responsible for any, maintenance. If they don't take care of it, the village has the right to do those inspections or that maintenance and charge it back to them.
Okay, a copy of that agreement is in the documentation. Any questions for Amber on that?
I thought it started on Saturday. Are they gonna start actually building this?
Yes, they will be
Because then
starting
it's been
to.
going on over 2
They-
years.
They closed on the property, just recently, and building permits have been issued, so they just need to, they've been approved, they need to
So
pay,
that'll start.
right?
Thank you.
So we are assuming that this stormwater pond and the management is singular to just this site. It's not, it's not a regional pond of any sort. It just applies to that particular site.
It is a regional pond, so they will be utilizing what is considered a regional pond that's right there along Fort Washington Road, south of the hotel.
So that if I agree with it, though, we're making them fully responsible for the work.
I have the agreement in front of me, I only changed some of the wording from the agreement.
Inspection, then they.
Well, we will have inspections of something on their property as well, so it's not only the pond, right? They'll have to inspect their catch basin, their grass swales, and some other things on their property will be fully their responsibility.
The village would retain the right to special charge appropriately if it was work done on the pond that impacted numerous properties.
I'm sure they would ask for that.
Yeah, you can imagine they will ask for that.
Other questions? Need a motion? I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second, final comments. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Passes. Item C is a resolution establishing the customary time of what activities those are drafted.
I'll
Second. Offer motion is second. I think it incorporates the feedback from the board. Final comments?
Yeah, I mean, I have a question. I thought when we talked about this recently, we also said that Friday would be an option. Yes.
don't call that anybody.
It was brought, I recall it was brought up, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how many other people actually agreed with.
There was some discussion about potential conflict with high school football at that time of year. That was part of the discussion, as I recall. But there's definitely a heavy consensus towards if it falls on a weekend that it should be held on that weekend, not prior.
Offer motion is second. Final comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That resolution passes. Item D is a motion to recommend the village board approve the acceptance of a donation of $227 to be applied to the DPW forestry budget.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Second, all in favor? That motion passes. Let's move on to item E, report of the finance committee. Item 1 is a motion to approve a contract for assessment services from Associated Appraisals consultants for the 2023-27 period, including the market-based adjustment as needed.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Looks like we'll need the market-based adjustment next year already. Final comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 2 is a motion to approve the extension of the intergovernmental agreement for fire department oversight and fire inspection support with Saco, conditioned upon the acceptance by the Saco Village Board. I do believe that is taking place.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Yes, no?
Um,
Chief, you know?
I don't
Taking
recall.
this up?
Yeah, they, from their side, yeah, okay.
Excellent. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And passes. Item 3 is motion to enter into a 2-year contract, 2023-2024 with Houseman Fine and Graphic for attorney services. I'll make that motion.
I'll second motion.
Second, comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Mike. You're stuck on it. Move on to item F, report of the Public Safety Committee. We have one item, a motion to recommend village board approve the purchase of the HVAC system update from Cape Comfort in the amount of $26,573 and the purchase of ventilated drug storage cabinets, storage bins, 24 cubic foot freezer and refrigerator in the amount of $10,667 for a total expenditure of $37,240 be approved.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Second, comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes. Let's move on to department and office reports. Jesse, you want to get this off?
Sure, just a couple of actually election related notes. The clerk's office will be traveling to Village Point Commons this week to help them out on site with absentee voting. This is by request of the facility. The clerk's office will help comply or help accommodate those residents. In-person absentee balloting and voting will be held here at Village Hall beginning October 24th. The voting will be here in the boardroom. The clerk's office is in full preparation of that. The other big activity in town, you may have noticed quite a bit of activity by our public works crew. We took delivery of 227 trees. This is really our effort to make a big push in the replacement efforts due to emerald ash borer damage. So over the course of late last week and throughout this week, the public works is planting trees throughout the village, all 227 worth. So that is the latest and greatest.
We have a good representation. Department heads, anything you want to share with the board tonight? I'll open it up to the board for any questions they have.
I think the event we had on Saturday was very nice. Seeing all the kids are having fun. Thank you, John, Chad, and your crew. All right, thank you, appreciate it.
All right, that being said, let's move on to item 8. Everything, item 9, for the bills, I hear motion for approval of the village expenditures, $772,533.91.
Make the motion.
I'll second. Motion is second. I saw the comment back and forth. Any further questions on the bills?
Yes. I don't understand why would I buy 40 tires? I mean,
So that is,
10 cars, but they use the tires at once.
that's fine. That's maybe a question to be taken to public safety. It's really not a question on whether or not it's a valid expenditure. But I think the idea that it needs to be discussed, should be put on public safety agenda.
But in the meantime, can't they buy the tire?
I mean, it's not another.
Well, it's kind of late on about it after we've already got.
Talked about it specifically in public safety. I don't remember seeing anything about it.
No.
I mean, if it's a done deal, it's a done deal. I just,
Yeah, is it a done deal? I mean,
What this authorization does is basically then checks go in the mail tomorrow.
so the deal, when I read about it, it was, philosophy was having a set of tires ready to go in case of, tire wear, puncture, whatever. Maybe the question is, do we, are all of our vehicles pretty much generic as far as tire size?
This would be for the police fleet, so they would be similar sized across the Tahoes. I don't know if there's a difference between the Tahoes and the Ford Explorers. That I don't know.
Why would you have 40?
And the Tahoes are kind of new, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I mean, Chief, if you have further weigh in on your approach to proactively making sure we have, in essence, spare parts on hand.
Yeah, so first and foremost, this is a budgeted item. This is an item that is in our vehicle maintenance budget, and it's something that we do yearly. This is not something new. We purchase tires once a year in bulk. So we have tires on hand at the PD in case we have damage to tires, or during an inspection, we see that our tread is low and we need to replace the tires. With the way the supply chain has been going lately and with everything else, this is one of the mechanisms that we can keep on hand to keep our vehicles in service, so we don't have to down a car for a flat tire or damaged tires or anything like that. There are different sizes for the Tahoes as opposed to the Explorers, as opposed to the pickups, as opposed to the Impalas. So yeah, when you're looking at that, these tires are yeah, it's a hefty expense, but we're doing it all at once rather than throughout the year.
Chief, did you entertain the idea of maybe checking with our new business partner, Farm and Fleet? I think.
Yeah, no, Farm and Fleet was not open at the time, and Tires Unlimited has the state contract for tires. We did reach out and created another account with American Tire Distributors. They also have a state contract pricing for us with regard to these. So yeah, these aren't the normal run-of-the-mill tires that you can get based off of what you would put on your regular car. These are pursuit rated vehicle or tires. They have to be for our vehicles. And for those that aren't aware, a vehicle, one of our police cars, we can't patch a vehicle tire or plug it because it loses its pursuit rating. So we have to replace them when they're damaged. We can't plug them or patch them.
Chief, these you already have these tires in stock, correct?
Yeah, we did get them in stock. Well, I believe they're I don't know if they've arrived yet or not. I since I've been down here for my conference, I'm not sure if they're there yet or not.
They have in stock. So essentially, Chief, Assistant Chief just said they're in stock. Yeah, I think, I question this too. I don't think $200 a tire is really that bad of a price for Z-rated or pursuit rated tires. I just, from my perspective, I did raise it and say, wow, 40 tires, including the ones for the Impalas. I mean, aren't the Impalas like coming off lease? Coming up here shortly. To me, it was just like a big expenditure all at once. Just my concern.
Sure, and I can appreciate that. I hope that the board can appreciate mine as well, with the fact that look, these tires they wear quickly on us because of the miles that we put on them. It's not a matter of just them sitting around and us never driving the car. So for me to have a car down, it does put additional wear on other cars that are not necessary. So it's important for us to have these tires in stock.
Well, this was covered in the answers that you provided for those other questions. It was the $10,000+ to the town of Grafton for, is that the driveway approach on Falls Road?
The Palabrica driveway, yes, that is that particular driveway on Falls Road, correct? Yep.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I just want to get back to the tires. So, I don't understand why we would just buy 40. I know that, it came from the under the state program, better to have too many than too less. I worry about storing them. We have all these brand new vehicles. I don't know, how many years it will take us to kind of go through these tires. So that was just a surprise to me. So I'm not sure I agree with that.
Jesse, again, you were the chief, has this been the policy, has this been the practice in years past?
We do practice making sure we have what we can on hand. We had the ability to do this bulk purchase. We had budgeted funds for it, and Chief moved forward with it, and I signed off on the voucher.
Right here.
Pardon?
Right here.
Yes, I understand they are.
Other questions on the bills? Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Show of hands, all in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. And show against, 1, 2, 3. Motion passes 4-3. Let's move on to item 10. Entertain a motion to convene the closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.851E. Negotiating specific public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. In this case, the police union contract negotiation. Entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 We are in closed session. Jesse, what is the expected time?
Give me about 10 minutes, please.
Okay, 10 minutes with possible action. Do we have it?
No action.
No action afterwards. Thank you.